Hello, everybody, Yogi Edgies. It's been a while since I came on here just to give my little inspiration for the day, so I figured when I had the opportunity I would. I don't have a lot of battery, so this will be really quick, but it's kind of funny sometimes how the little tiniest things can really teach you a lesson in life. I am pointing the camera at this light right now, hoping that this little ant will come back. I don't know where he went, but um he might have found his way out. Good for him. Hi, Lucian. I know, long time no see. So, here's the funny thing. I'm sitting here working on this list literally as we speak, and it says the real me. The reason is because I've been watching, well, I haven't been watching a lot of stuff. I've been reading a lot of Toltec books, such as The Four Agreements, The Fifth Agreement. I mean, so many, listening to a lot of, self improvement things. Oh, there he is. Hold on. Oh, I don't know if you can see him. Where did he go? Oh, there is the ant. Do you see the ant in the top left? Here we go. Okay. Hi, Pizza Pop Tart! So, I've been listening to all these things, and really trying to find myself. And I'm looking at this ant, by the way, that's on my light, and he has a purpose, so that's why we're looking at him. And maybe you can figure it out before I even tell you. And as I go through this process of really trying to become happy in life, because I'm not really that happy in life because there's so much, layers that built up over time that make you unhappy. And I have been on a very long journey this past year or so. Look at this poor ant. I think he's about to give up. He has been really trying hard for the past 30 minutes or so trying to find his way. I know the feeling, dude. I get it. So, as I'm going through this list, really feeling lost this past couple days, I watched a thing on Netflix about, um, oh gosh, not Aretha Franklin. What the heck is her name? The lady that sings Me and Bobby McGee. I watched that last night. That was not a good idea. It made me depressed. It made me go into this weird, oh my gosh, where is my life going moment. But that's okay because then this little ant is helping. It's needed. It's not bad. It's just that you can avoid it. Oh, he made it! Look, he made it! I've been waiting for him to do that for 30 minutes. I'm not even gonna kill him. I'm gonna let him be because you know what? He inspired me, so good for you, Ant. Please don't bite me in my sleep. So, I have to talk faster. My battery is really not very charged enough to be on scope, but I really felt like I had to share this. So, Janis Joplin. Yes, thank you, Lucian. That too. Yeah. I didn't really know anything about her. I had a feeling she died of drugs, but that movie's kind of sad, and I feel like I can relate to her. My boyfriend and I both felt like we felt her pain, and so, anyways, I have been woken up all day trying to just do whatever work I can do, and the whole time I'm just thinking, it's time. We gotta get out of this rut and into our real self. And here's the thing. Many of you who have been on my scope for a while have heard this story over and over. I'm constantly trying to, get past this stuck point of transferring from, my old life to the real life and learning so much along the way, but really sometimes learning just puts me more into my head rather than out there in the world. And as I'm watching this ant, I'm seeing him circle around and around and around. And here's the problem is, at first I thought he was looking for food. And then I realized that ant is not looking for food. He's lost. He is totally lost, and I'll show you how. Because if you look at this light, hi Arlen, if you look at this light, you know, if he somehow got onto this lampshade at one point, and then he wanted to get down, it's kind of hard to get down because this isn't touching the wall, even though you already saw his escape route a few seconds ago. But he was just circling like around this edge over and over and over again. And then he would start to crawl up this little wire, which is probably how he got onto this lampshade in the first place. But I would notice he would crawl up and then scoop back down. And then he would go back around and then crawl up maybe one of these and then come right back down and then go around. And then he came out to the edge and he went around. And I feel like this is us in life. We are just circling around and around on this weird, like, globe. And sometimes we start to find our way out of this weird dream, but then the light, I think, is too bright. He couldn't get up there. Like, it was too bright for him, and he came back down and he gave up and then just started going back with the flow around and around and around until he looked like he was about to give up a few times and just drop to the ground. But as I was writing that list, I'm looking at him, watching him do this, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is exactly what I'm doing. Like, I'm just, my wheels are turning, and I'm doing my best, and I'm going every day. But every time I start to get closer to, like, exiting, I know. I wanted to see if he would figure it out himself. I needed to give me some faith that it's doable. And he did. He got down. Yeah, and exactly. So the light is kind of like that really awkward point in life when you start to figure out who you really are, and it's really fucking intense. Like, so bright, so harsh. Like, that's where you came from. That was who you were to begin with, but you kind of like forgot over time. And then all of a sudden, you're trying to get back to it. Hi, Tammy. And the way back became a hell of a lot harder, so we try to just go back onto our little way and go around and around and around, and it just doesn't work. We just want to find ourselves again. So, is the world blinding you? Are you trying to find who you really are but keep getting blinded by the light? Because I have multiple times. I am right now. I'm trying to go full speed into who I really am, but it's like shooting myself into the sun. It feels chaotic. It burns. It's intense, just like this little ant who just finally found a way to his home. Yes. Yes. I like that. So, I I was really inspired by that little ant right then and realized that, I can't see where I'm going. It'll happen. And I just have to trust that if I want to go back to where I came from and really like have that like childlike happiness and bliss. Once there was a silly old ant who thought he could move a rubber tree plant. Then I will have to just go into the light, which sounds super corny, but I don't care because it was a really good analogy and I had to share it because that's how I teach everybody and that's how I teach myself. So, this was good. Just a little chat, just a little, you know, inside of my brain how I work and, try to find my happiness. And I figure maybe there's some of you out there who are trying to do the same thing. And you don't have to necessarily go back to the way you were, you can find new ways too. for each party of your life. I don't know what the outcome is for each part of my life. I don't think I want to know because I think I would stress out a lot. I I like not knowing, and I've accepted that. But now I know that I don't want to be here. So it's kind of hard to describe like what I want, and that's why I'm making my list right now. And I'm trying to figure out like what do I really want? What's like in here right now? This is my heart, but it's kind of higher than normal. So I figured a couple things out as I went through my day. I want to be outdoors. I like going outside. It's funny because for a while I actually started hating going outside whenever I was being affected by the world. I told myself I didn't like being outside, I didn't like sweating, and that was a big fat lie. So I really do like being outside, and I wish I was outside more, so I'm trying to figure that out. And I like to travel. I really miss traveling. I've noticed that if I don't go somewhere at least once a week, I like just about go insane, as well as not having certain other things once a week, but like chocolate. Uh, so I want to travel and I want to see the world. And one thing I realized today, as I'm sitting here thinking about all this, is that I don't really know where I want to go because I don't think that's actually the reason why I like traveling. I like traveling to experience new things, not necessarily because I have like a list. I just want to go. I like I I don't know. I'm not good at doing the same thing all the time, if you haven't noticed. So, it's that's got to happen for me to be happy, and I have to believe that it's going to happen, but first I have to know what I'm trying to manifest before I can manifest it. Yeah, I do too. Like I want to come see you, Tammy. Like everybody I know, I want to come like see and experience and just like have a good time. Exactly. I agree. Yeah. And I have noticed that in the process of going through this life, I have lost faith in almost everything. And there's certain things that I'm glad I've lost faith in. However, I went to an extreme and like am very faithless. And that's the hardest part for me right now because I have to believe stuff will happen for it to happen. And I think I have that fear of being burned again, it not happening, or like with people, places, and things. That's the biggest thing I gotta get over. What's another thing? Well, I like sharing. That's the other thing. I don't like traveling alone. I watched that movie on Netflix called Into the Wild. You should watch it if you haven't watched it yet. For it to happen, you gotta know what you want. And that's why I'm making my list. Did you see my list? Here's my list. It's not done. I got distracted by the ant. But I'm figuring out what I want. And I'm telling myself if I had nothing to do, if I had no worries about money, then what would I do today? And like it took me 24 hours to figure it out. Yeah, I am living in the past. That is definitely a thing. Uh yeah, I like couldn't think of what I would do, and I don't like that because I feel like sometimes I would just sleep all day and not do anything, and I don't want that. That's not who I want to be, and that I gotta. The power. Okay. I'll see if they have it at my library because I just finished the fifth agreement. The power. Tammy, could you like tweet me that because I always end up forgetting. Like if you go to share broadcast and just put it in the tweet, that helps me a lot because then I actually get like the notification. Yeah, I'm guessing that Arlen read that too. What's another thing on my list? Oh, because I want to share. I want it to be with somebody I love and who can love me back. That's a tough one. I don't know how to really manifest other people doing things, so I gotta really just be happy first, I guess. And then I love animals. Yeah, it's really tough. So I think it's more a matter of believing that you're lovable. Thank you, Tammy. And then the person who can love you will come in, and if they're already in your life, then they'll start loving you. If they're not, then they'll just show up. Yeah. But I gotta believe that. And there's some blockages there. I think a lot of us might have some of those blockages. I like using my imagination, if you have not noticed that, and I think I'm doing that pretty good right now in my life. I'm going to. I'm going to, seriously, because I didn't know what to get from the library yesterday when I turned in that book. I had a friend that her husband died. She was content being single. One day she was feeling lonely. ... And I'm guessing somebody magical came into her life. Was it you? I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know this story. And then I like being active. I like flipping around, just like I used to be obsessed with playing tag whenever I was little. I don't know what that's about, but I fear that means I like the chase in life. But that's okay. Fine by me. And I like laughing. I like laughing a lot, which is why I share really random crap with y'all because I like making people laugh and laughing with you. Oh gosh, the ant is back on the lamp. I don't know what he wants. It's his choice. She made a list of qualities of the kind of man she wanted to be with. A year later, she was in a relationship with him. I believe it, and you know what's happening? I actually drew myself a picture of what I wanted my new reality to be about 1 year ago, and even though it's not there yet, I see the changes happening. Yeah, look at that. So, if you haven't done that before and you want something to change in your life, draw it out. Make the current situation kind of like plain so that because your brain sees things in two-dimensional. There's a whole TED talk on this, by the way. I did it. Um, I did not do the TED talk. I listened to the TED talk and then did the exercise. That's so funny. Yeah, so tell the universe what you want, draw it out, make it colorful. I literally added glitter and nail polish because I didn't have real paint and colored it, and it's probably the best artwork I've ever done, and it's really crazy because I'm not that good of an artist, and it actually looked really realistic. Yeah. And it's still in my cottage, so yep. Yeah. And that's the thing is you got to know what you want, and then you have to be ready to accept it to happen. And that's right now where I'm learning to get past. I have to be okay with those things actually happening. So if you want something and you keep begging for it, actually be ready for them. You can draw flies. Oh, that's funny. So that was it. My battery is about to die, so I will say goodbye now, but I had to share that with you because that little ant is really, really telling us a story. And if you feel like you're going around in circles, be okay with just close your eyes and go into the light, and you'll find your way back to yourself. I hope you have a great night too, Tammy. I will see you on Facebook later. I hope that your toe is feeling better. Yeah, it was good seeing you, Lucian. Take care. Yeah, thank you, Arlen. I will see all of you. I don't know when, but I'll see you. Namaste. Love you. Bye. Goodbye again. Goodbye.